8 a.m. on 95.9 WEZC.
Your friend in Central Illinois. WHOW.
Top of the morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. My guest on the Zoom today, Piatt County Sheriff Mark Vogelzang. Sheriff, so glad I could catch you between vacations here this week. How you doing this morning?
Good, but you confused me with another sheriff.
Oh, well, that's right. That's right. Walker likes to vacation a little bit, doesn't he? Doesn't he? No, it's all funny. You guys are a hoot. I've enjoyed having you guys on the program here over the years. Hey, I saw you guys have a new canine handler over there in your department. Tell me about this, Sheriff.
We're in the process. I think most people know Sergeant Williams, Stu Williams. He was a canine handler for many, many years, but about 2 years ago, we retired Cato, just getting older. We have a fairly young department, so we weren't in a big hurry to get a new canine, but we have selected a new handler, which is Connor Brody. There's been some issues trying to get into an academy. Obviously, it's ISP is probably where we choose to send them, but they're going through some process of rebuilding their academy. They're getting a new one, so they have a limit on who can go. So the earliest we can get in for an academy will be next spring.
Oh, wow.
So we've got a little bit of time yet. We're working to get the car up and running with the canine kennel and stuff like that. But hopefully by next spring, we'll have a new canine on the street.
So a couple of things out of that. You mentioned your department is younger, so you weren't in a hurry to get a canine. What's the connection between a youthful department and having a canine and being able to maybe put that off a little bit?
The younger officers, you're still learning a lot. I mean, just everyday patrol, there's a lot to learn. When you select a canine handler, obviously there's a lot of liability involved in that. There are more unique circumstances when a dog is involved, and you want somebody that has a good foundation within law enforcement, knows policies and procedures, knows the laws as it relates to the canine. So you want to get somebody with some experience in that position.
Why didn't Stu take this back over?
He's currently in investigations. I think he likes the Monday through Friday, 8 to 4 aspect of that job. He is also currently a sergeant. It's one of those things too. It's nice to have a well-rounded department. He said that he kind of put that time in and is wanting to allow somebody else that opportunity. It's one of those things that in my career, I always thought I wanted to be a canine handler. But what a lot of people don't realize is there's a lot of work done with that dog outside of normal business hours. And if you want a good dog, you're having to put in a lot of extra time that you're not getting paid for. I've seen a lot of very, very good dogs, and those handlers are extremely passionate when it comes to the canine program.
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, it's one of those things that you definitely got to keep training the dog and keep its skills sharp, just like your own, for sure. And I know our canine handler here in the Clinton Police Department really well, and just kind of talking to him over the years, it is a lot. I mean, there's a lot of extra training that he goes to and those sorts of things, and he enjoys it immensely. The other thing that I was kind of wondering about is the not being able to get into an academy until the springtime. So does that mean you have a dog picked out and you're just waiting for it to get trained, or what? Or will when the opening comes up, then you get a dog? Like, what does that process look like, Sheriff? And I may be jumping too deep into the weeds, so I apologize if I am.
No. Like I said, we initially reached out to the Illinois State Police. They've got a great program, but currently they're only allowing one new handler in each class from an agency outside of the Illinois State Police. So obviously you can imagine throughout the entire state, those filled up quick. We looked at an academy up north, and once we get closer to it, that department that hosts the training
Mhm.
will meet with the canine handler. And I'm also going to send Sergeant Williams up there as well, because he will be overseeing the canine program, given that he's got so much experience. And then they try to pick a dog that's a good fit with that particular handler.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So with the handler then picked out, what, like, does he have any like training he's going to have to go to leading up to the academy with the dog, or like or does he like get to like have the dog, raise it? How do you introduce the handler and the dog and those sorts of things, and then get it into the class? And I don't know. This just seems very. I've never talked this through before, so this is fun.
So we'll use this time between now and next spring to send Deputy Brody to any class that might be related to, drug interdiction, anything with legal updates, especially if it's involving a canine. But really, it's not until he goes to that class that he will do anything with the dog.
Mm-hmm.
He won't meet the dog until right before that class starts.
Will it be a puppy?
No, it'll be ready to go once he gets up north and is ready for the class. They will go through those 8 weeks, and if everything goes well and they get certified, they'll be out on the street ready to work.
Well, that's no fun. What's the point in having a dog if you can't raise it from a puppy? Although some people, I will tell you, some people prefer to have the dog, ready to roll, and the raising the puppy stuff is for the birds for them.
Absolutely. And I think most agencies do it the way we do.
Yeah,
as
sure.
far as getting ready to go to the academy, they have a dog that is ready to go to the academy and start working. I think Decatur, if I remember right, I saw something on their Facebook page. I think they're ones that get a pup, and will raise it with the person until they're ready to go to the class.
Yeah, right. Shoot, I had a question for you. And I know what it was. Do you know what type of dog you want or you're getting? What breed?
There, two most popular ones would be the Malinois and a German Shepherd. There are several others. I know Champaign City has had a couple other, like a giant Schnauzer. We'll probably go with either a Dutch Malinois or a German Shepherd, but ultimately that'll be decided on with the academy and Deputy Brody once they figure out which one's a good fit.
Hey, have you ever seen like golden retrievers or like kind of like very like human friendly dogs be canines before?
Oh, absolutely. If you're going to have a dog that's not a full service dog, one that would be a bite dog, those are great dogs for like bomb sniffing and or just narcotics alerts, or a much like the University of Illinois, they've got a program where they're more like a companion dog. They take them out to traumatic events. It's a great way for the public to see the dog. They want to go out and pet those dogs and have good interactions. But we are looking for more of a full service type dog.
Have you found the need for or have you found the canine program to be beneficial in your department over the years?
Absolutely. I think, whether it's tracking, we haven't really had any apprehensions over the years with our canine, but it's also a good tool to get out and meet kids and do demonstrations. It's always a popular request to have the canine come in. I think you have had Stu on before, and he always talked about the Cato copter, where he would take his dog and put it on a ball and kind of spin him around. But yeah, it's always a big request for demonstrations with the canine.
Yeah, for sure.
And even going back to the German Shepherds and Malinois, there's definitely a difference in those. The Malinois tend to be more hyper. I don't know. Have you ever seen anybody catch a dog when they use the bite sleeve?
What do you mean catch a dog when they use the bite sleeve?
So a lot of times when you're training, you have to put that bite sleeve on, and then they will send the dog in to search a building. And then if that canine decoy, is not cooperative, that dog is sent in to do a bite. It's just part of the training. But the German Shepherds tend to I remember I used to do it every now and then. The German Shepherds would run alongside you, reach up and bite, where a Malinois tends to launch. So there's definitely a difference in the types of dogs.
I see. Interesting stuff. I had no idea, Sheriff. I could talk with you for 10 plus minutes about. I mean, I probably should have known I could talk to you about 10 plus minutes about a canine program, but
I'm far from an expert with that. If you want to talk more, like I said, Sergeant Williams has done it a long time. He is one of those that is very passionate. He still has Cato with him in his house now that Cato's retired. But he has a lot of knowledge, which is the reason why I've asked him to continue to be involved in the canine program and oversee that program as we move forward.
Yeah. Hey, does does the department take up the care for that dog? I mean, obviously, like vet bills and stuff, I'm sure they do. But like, does like Stu have to buy the dog? Like when the dog was in service, does like Stu have to buy the dog food and all that stuff, or how does that work?
Nope. The department takes care of it, but then over the years, we've also had a lot of donations, with the vet service and or food for the dog.
Cool. That's nice. That's got to be really nice.
Yep.
Well, I don't think I think I've exhausted the questions I can ask, Sheriff. Did I miss anything in that program you want to put out there about it?
No, not for the canine.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what, sir. Let's break, come back and talk some more. Piatt County Sheriff Mark Vogelzang is my guest on the Zoom this morning. We'll talk more with the sheriff coming up on the WHOW Morning Show.
WHOW.
Here's a commodity market update on the RFD radio network. I'm Rita Frazier. Still trading higher in the corn, soybeans, and wheat on a Wednesday morning. May corn up 3/4, $4.66. July up 2. December up 2.5 at $4.98 1/4. May beans up 6 1/4, $11.79 1/4. July up 6, and November soybeans up 4 3/4, $11.71 3/4. To the wheat, May wheat Chicago up 10 1/4, $6.59 1/4, and December hovering on that $7 mark. Right now we're at $6.99 1/2, up 10 1/2. Checking your livestock numbers, June live cattle up 102, 254.52. May feeder cattle down 33, 71.42, and your June lean hogs up 162, 103.60.
Looking for a provider who puts your health first? SIU Family Medicine is accepting new patients. Call 217-735-2317 today to schedule your first appointment. That's 217-735-2317. SIU Medicine, forward for you.
DeWittDailyNews.com is the area's leading local news source 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Get the latest local news, obituaries, police blotter, weather forecast, and more with no paywall. Head to DeWittDailyNews.com to get the local information you need to know.
Your friend in Central Illinois. WHOW.
Once again, a good morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Again, my guest on the Zoom today, Piatt County Sheriff Mark Vogelzang. And Sheriff, I'm sure as your guys are out and about these days, they're noticing all the farm implements on the roads, getting ready for the planting season. If guys in Piatt County don't even have if they don't have the crop in the ground already, let's talk implements and planting season in the rural parts of Piatt County.
I can take a quick second though, Seth. Let me back up.
Yeah,
Sergeant Williams is actually listening today, and he did point out over the years, Cato has tracked many people and had a lot of success on finding those.
Ah, good, nice. Tell Stu I said hey.
Very good.
He's fun. I like Stu. Yeah, very good. That's and that's why you bring that program in, right? And so hey, I'll tell you what, Sheriff, let's get back to planting season and the big implements. Just kind of remind us the safety tips there.
Allowing more time. You know, the farmers out there, these are huge pieces of equipment that are extremely high dollar pieces of equipment. They are very limited on the road space. Obviously, they take up quite a bit of that road. So, giving them a little extra space, slowing down. And then when you do have the opportunity to pass, again, just make sure that you're extremely careful and, making sure that nobody else is coming at you. Obviously, the radio's going off. Making sure that you're not going to cause an accident when you pass, that there's no blind spots.
Are there areas of rural Piatt County where the roads get a little sketchy and passing is difficult, and you want to make sure you're extra careful in those spots?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, most of the roads are, you've got the curves, the corners that maybe you don't see an oncoming car. You're trying to get out a little bit to see if there's anything coming, because the equipment is so large, and it does obscure your views as you're trying to get by them. So, just make sure that when you are passing, that it's that you've confirmed that there's no oncoming cars and or blind spots.
You guys do much in the way of in the way of seeing like accidents spike in certain parts of the county at all, or are there like treacherous spots where you guys kind of see more accidents than not?
Actually, we've been pretty lucky in the last several years. I think for the most part, just getting the word out like we are today, people are giving them some extra room and slowing down, and the number of crashes involving farm implements hasn't been that high.
It's good to hear. Good to hear. Very good. And I know that I had Chief Bross on the other day, Sheriff, and he was talking about distracted driving month here. The month of April is distracted driving month. How about distracted driving in Piatt County? And just weigh in on that if you don't mind for a moment.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all know that all it takes is a second to take your eyes off the road. How fast things can happen. Looking down at your phone, things just happen way, way too quick. So put your phone away. There's actually those features now where your phone detects if you're driving, and can send an automatic text alert that, hey, I'm driving and I'll call you once I arrive at my destination.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's a cool feature. That is a cool feature. Very good. So yeah, distracted driving, and he was telling me still encounters the folks doing the makeup and obviously eating and those sorts of things, kind of the standard stuff. He did have a funny story about a guy he encountered with a bowl of cereal as he was driving down the road. So yeah, but anyways, sure. Sheriff, I'll tell you what, let's dive into real quick. I know you've had some things going on internally. Your Department of Corrections jail inspection, what's going on there?
Yeah, every year, Department of Corrections has to come out and inspect all the county jails. Man, we just got a great staff here, from our jail superintendent to our custodian to our correctional officers. They do a great job. And this year, we actually received 100% compliance with the jail standards from DOC. And they look at quite a few different things, whether it's our training, our documentation, the meals that we provide, inmate care, legal compliance with different things. So there's a lot that's involved in this jail inspection that we do every year. But they've done a phenomenal job this past year. Cool.
Very good. So that passed with flying colors, it sounds like. Let's wrap up. Tell me about this NRA grant the department got.
We've been very lucky. The NRA has been very supportive of law enforcement over the years. And I think this is our third year. They provided us with a couple extra cases of ammunition, as well as lead wipes for our hands. So if you're out at the range, drinking, eating, it's very important to get that lead off your hands so you're safe. And they provided us a case of those lead wipes this year. So as we get ready to do some training, that's come in very handy. It saves the taxpayers some additional money.
Nice. How much was this for? And again, it kind of goes to keeping things clean. How about the was it a lot of money? Was it competitive? What was that process like, Sheriff?
The dollar value of the ammunition is roughly about $750.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
But every bit helps.
Yeah, definitely. Is ammunition difficult to come by, or is the price of it going up? What's the story there?
No, this past year it hasn't been too bad. You tend to shop around to try and find the best deals. We buy in bulk, So that does help lower the cost a little bit as well. But it's been very easy to get. Usually if I order it within 3 days, it's shipped to us and in-house.
Yeah. I don't know if this is a fair question or not. How often does your department have to discharge your firearms in a non-training scenario?
Since I've been here in the last 5 years, we've had one officer involved shooting.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So,
But it's one of those
knock on
things you got to
wood.
keep your skills sharp, right?
Absolutely. It's one of those that low frequency, but high risk. So it's one, we have to train every year to do qualification, but we try and get out as much as possible to keep that. It's a perishable skill.
Mhm.
So we try to get out as much as possible.
Sheriff, 1 minute with you. What I missed today, you want to get to, make sure we highlight.
Just keep an eye on our Facebook page. We're always hiring for deputies, corrections, dispatch. We're always taking those applications. So if you're interested in that, check out our Facebook page.
How's staffing right now?
Right now, pretty good. We are going through the process, looking for correctional officers, hiring for that. So
Yep, for sure. And I know we're stuck with you for another 4 years here. So you just got reelected in March, right?
for the Republican Party, the actual election will be in November. But right now, currently unopposed. So fingers crossed, we'll have another 4 years.
Yep, for sure. Very good. Sheriff, always good to talk with you. You mentioned the Facebook page. Is that the best way to keep up with the department? Are you on Instagram or any other spots?
No, the only social media is Facebook, but we do have a web page as well.
All right, easy enough. Sheriff, always good to talk with you, my friend. Hopefully we can catch up in May, and happy Memorial Day to you and yours, all right?
Sounds good. Thanks, Seth.
Sheriff Mark Vogelzang, Piatt County Sheriff, my guest on the Zoom here for this morning. The morning show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. You can also go back and check out replays of our morning shows at Facebook and YouTube as well. Network news comes your way next on the WHOW Morning Show.